Honestly, life right now feels like a lot. Between the constant noise, the bad news cycle, and the pressure to keep functioning, most of us are slowly but surely running on empty. And sometimes everything feels hopeless. To get out of that rut again, I want to invite you to use these prompts to explore 5 shadows that surface in challenging times. The patterns that protect us, exhaust us, but also ask to be understood. I share one tarot or oracle prompt for each one and walk you through my own tarot card pull as one example interpretation, not necessarily as a reading you receive, but to demonstrate how you can explore your own cards and how I mean the interpretation of the prompts. But if this sounds like it is a reading for you, nothing wrong with taking it as one. So if you have your tarot deck close by, grab it. Now let's dive into the first one. The shadow of overwhelm. The idea behind it is when stress piles up, we go into autopilot. We stay busy because slowing down feels risky. If we stop, all the unprocessed feelings might catch up, right? This shadow protects us from overload, but disconnects us from joy and rest. So the prompt is, what part of me is shutting down to survive? And what truth is that part trying to protect? And now let's see what my favorite tarot deck, the Lumia Tarot, has to say. I pulled Temperance, the Three of Wands, and the Hierophant. This trio speaks about control as a coping tool. Temperance shows the effort to balance everything. The Three of Wands keeps scanning ahead for safety, and the Hierophant clings to structure. Together, they are talking about the part of us that equates order with safety, even when it drains us. This reads as managing everyone else's needs, keeping the calendar full, holding it all together. It's the kind of over-functioning that looks responsible but feels exhausting on the inside. And this shadow protects the simple truth. It feels unsafe to slow down. It's the instinct to stay busy so you don't have to feel what's waiting underneath. To dive deeper into this, we move on into the next shadow, the one that surfaces when we care so deeply that it starts to hurt. The shadow of powerlessness. The idea behind it is this shadow emerges when caring deeply about the world turns into despair. You see so much injustice or suffering that action feels impossible and numbness feels like relief. So the prompt is, where does my awareness of injustice turn into hopelessness, and what truth wants to writhe underneath it? And the card I got for this prompt is the Two of Wands, King of Cups, and Seven of Swords. These cards speak of emotional regulation and a word that never stops demanding it. The Two of Wands wants a plan. The King of Cups reminds us that empathy can have boundaries, and the Seven of Swords shows the quiet escape, the moment you check out because it's too much. And together, those cards suggest that awareness becomes despair when we mistake responsibility for control. We can't fix everything, but we can stay present and engaged without burning out. The King of Cups reminds us here, compassion isn't all or nothing. It can ebb and flow, and that is what keeps it sustainable. The next shadow slips in when disappointment becomes a habit, when it feels safer to stop believing altogether. The shadow of cynicism. I recently made a video about how cynicism isn't inherently bad, but still, cynicism grows from disappointment. It's a defense that says, if I expect nothing, I can't be let down. But it also robs us from possibilities. The shadow asks, what would it take to believe again, even just a little? And the prompt for this is, what does realistic hope look like for me now? The cards I got for this are the Hanged Man, Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. And these cards talk about a very quiet hope. The Hanged Man asks us to pause and see things differently. The Three of Pentacles reminds us that growth happens with others, not in isolation. And the Four of Pentacles warns that gripping too tightly to control squeezes out the trust. So realistic hope isn't about certainty, it's about direction. It's a decision to keep showing up even when the outcome isn't clear. So hope is built and not found, one action at a time. The next shadow is a sneaky one. This one convinces us we're better off alone. It's the shadow of isolation. This shadow is telling us that asking for help makes us weak. It's a self-protection pattern that says, if I depend on no one can hurt me. It may feel safe, but it erodes connection and warmth. So the prompt is, who or what could hold space with me right now? And for this, I pulled the Queen of Wands and the Magician. Together, they are talking about empowered connection. The Queen of Wands carries warmth and visibility and leadership. And the Magician represents resourcefulness and co-creation. So the message here is, we heal in interaction. It's okay to reach out, to be seen, to rebuild community slowly. That can be a friend, a therapist, creative expression. Connection is your medicine. And finally, the shadow that waits at the edge of every big decision, the part that looks at you and says, nah, not yet. It's the shadow of avoidance. Avoidance tells you not yet, and it shows up when we know what needs to change, but stall to delay the discomfort that comes with it. The shadow wants safety and a cozy blanket, but it trades short-term relief for long-term stagnation. So the prompt is, what truth am I avoiding because it would require change on my end? And for this, I got the Six of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands. The Six of Cups reversed looks backwards and the Knight of Wands charges forwards. Together, they capture that inner tug of war between nostalgia and growth. This is the point where comfort becomes resistance, basically. Change rarely feels graceful, but every time you face what you have been postponing, what I have been postponing, we make room for something new and real to start. These cards suggest that courage doesn't have to look loud. It's about leaving the past in the past and not clinging to it anymore. So these shadows are invitations to notice what has been running in the background, and when you sit with your own cards, don't hunt for perfect meanings, look for patterns, words or emotions that feel relevant. The goal is to understand your shadows enough that they no longer steer the ship, that you are in control. Please let me know which prompt resonated the most with you in the comments. I would love to hear your reflections, and if this video spoke to you, subscribing really supports the channel and helps more people find it. Also, how do you find this new kind of readings with the prompt and my interpretations? I am also very curious to hear that, or do you want the previous Picker Pilots back? Thank you so much for being here. Either way, take care of yourself today.